says. That's Selena Gomez and The Scene. Staying radio style. Hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day. I certainly am. You attract who you are. I know some of you probably have heard this concept before. I was kind of doing some digging today, and I was able to kind of find a couple things that I thought were very, very interesting, and hopefully put them in, we'll see, but hopefully put them together in such a way that's going to be useful for those of you out there. But the key to this whole thing, and hopefully we'll see if I circle back around properly, is we do attract who we are. So I got a couple points in trying to help us understand this, maybe bridge this gap a little bit. But this is meant to give you some serious pointers into trying to attract love, specifically. Your specific someone, of course, falls into that, and truly it is very geared for that, especially. In fact, probably almost even more so, because there is there's a tendency in many of us that are going after specific someones to kind of break the last rule, and we have a very hard time with that. So that's the last rule. It's a good part, and I'm not teasing it just to try to force you into watching the whole thing, though I hope that works. It's actually more because it is the final step, and it's important to kind of give it some context with which to work and hopefully give us all a little understanding. So one thing that's really important to kind of keep in mind when it comes to our lives, and we always frequently talk about, doing your self-help, your self-love meditations, right? Trying to be concerned about yourself, trying to get your own energy to a better place, trying to essentially get you to a happy place, regardless of if your specific someone or anyone or anything is all in your life yet or not. So essentially look at it like it's our movie. We are the stars of our movie. And what a lot of people do is they actually try to figure out how to get into their specific someone's movie instead of trying to get them into our movie. So again, when we're trying to do these manifestation or these imaginal exercises, it's really important to kind of have our lives in a good place, planned out. Like, what's my day look like? What are the things that I do that are fun? How do I entertain myself? How do I keep my day full? How do I keep myself happy? And then I figure out how to work my significant someone into that. Not me trying to figure out how to get into her life or you into theirs, right? We're not trying to get into their movie. We're trying to get them into our movie, or even more appropriately, trying to create a movie together. And I'm hoping that analogy kind of works, because that is actually a mistake so many of us make, is we're trying so hard to get into their lives. And that's not what you want to do. And you don't so much totally want them just coming into your life either, because then that's going to feel a little awkward and you're going to kind of be like, whoa, I need my space, right? We're trying to build a movie together. It's kind of like one of those love romances, right? Where the two main characters don't know each other at the beginning of the movie. Maybe they meet up at some point, something awkward kind of happens, and then eventually they start working together and creating a movie or an outcome together. So again, we need to have our own movie. It's very important to make sure that you are trying to improve and better your own life. Be happy with who you are, what you are, and where you're going. If that means focusing on your career, if that means focusing on your child, if that means focusing on whatever your next step in your life is, focus on that and then figure out how to work your significant person into that. Another thing that is extremely key and is extremely powerful when it comes to attracting anybody, and I will say this, if there's a specific someone out there that you're searching for, great. And if there's not, this is even easier. Again, I think it's harder with the specific someone coming from that same walk. It's a more challenging role for a number of reasons. Here's another example. When we're being authentic, when we're truly being who we are, when we are being the best version of who we are, the best version of the highest vision we ever did hold about ourselves. Neil Donald Walsh's quote. If we are truly doing that, you will start to notice people will come out of the woodworks and suddenly be attracted to you. Why? This would be why it's so much easier when it's not a specific person, because really when you're being authentic, all of a sudden now you're very attractive to the opposite sex, or if you're maybe gay or whatever, because it doesn't matter, then your own sex. But you're going to be very attracted to the type of energy you're looking for. If you're looking for your specific someone, it can be a little confusing because now all of a sudden either A, exes are maybe looking you up out of the blue, B, random people are just approaching you and flirting with you, and you're like, whoa, what's this all about? And it can be a little confusing because, well, your heart belongs over here, but now all of a sudden you're getting this energy and attraction from strangers or from people that aren't who you're wanting to try to get it from. That's okay. That's okay. That's actually an indicator to you that, wow, my energy is really good. Look at what I'm bringing towards me. Look at what's coming towards me. Obviously, my specific someone has to be feeling an enhanced level when they think about me because this is what life is showing me right now. This is what my higher self is bringing to me. So I understand that all of this stuff is actually working out. I'm being very authentic. I'm being very true to who I am, to what I love. That's what being authentic means to me, is being very true to who you are. If you start giving up on things that matter to you because maybe your specific someone doesn't like that, well, then you're not being authentic. And you're instantly starting to become less attractive when you start giving away and chipping away at aspects of who you are, especially parts of you that make you happy. Now, again, some of us have bad habits that definitely need to be replaced. Great example of me 4 years ago, smoking. I was a smoker for a long time. Smoked cigarettes. Nasty, disgusting habit. I still love the smell of it, by the way. When people light up cigarettes, it's like, oh my God, it smells amazing. But anyway, that's disgusting, right? But my point is it was actually the thought of spending time with my significant other down the road and just being hooked up to oxygen. You know, like it was literally this whole like scene played out in my mind. And in being more authentic for myself, being a non-smoker was definitely in line with that. And as I've made those changes, I certainly have had a lot of impact and a lot of interesting interest from other people. It's been very, very awesome. And again, recently, I've finally gotten pretty much all the weight off that I gained when I quit smoking. So I'm kind of like back down to where I was. So yeah, life's good, right? Being authentic. And it helps us so much to be more attractive to those that are out there with us. Now, one thing that's also kind of important is living the cause. This was something I kind of picked up today, and this was kind of an interesting topic. So living the cause instead of the effect. So what that kind of means to me is, again, when we're being authentic, when we're being real and true to ourselves, when we're out actually trying to make the best of our lives, we're causing things to happen. We're out there, we're making things happen. We've got our energy in such a way that things are now being drawn to us because, again, likes attract likes, right? We're bringing into ourself who we are. We attract who we are. Just to circle back around on that once, right? So when we're being the cause, we are doing the proper things for ourselves. We are doing all the things to help enhance our energy, our self-love, our hobbies, our love of our lives, our long walks on the beach, listening to music, watching movies, hanging with friends, having a life that we enjoy, regardless of the specific person. We'll let them come into our movie when they're ready or when circumstances align and make it possible. But right now, I'm happy. Right now, I'm okay. The effect is when you're starting to react, or like a lot of us, maybe looking up on their Facebook and seeing what they're doing, and then we react to that. That's the effect. That's the effect. We're essentially, they're the cause now, and we're reacting. And that's not a good place. You want to be the cause. You want to be the creator. You want to be the one that owns your path and to let them come to you, not you go to them. And that is going to be a huge difference for a lot of you, myself included. All this stuff I'm guilty of too. That was a big part of why I wanted to do this show. It's like, ooh, right on. This is right up my alley, and this is certainly stuff that I can speak to because these are mistakes I've made for sure. Right? So we don't want to give up who we are for anybody else, and we certainly want to be the cause of all these things that we wish to experience. And that's a big part of this. We are going to become that which we prefer. What do you prefer? What do you like? What do you want from life? What do you want as experiences? What kind of life do you wish to have? Be the cause of that. Be that life. Be that energy. Focus on that, and the love will come. Are you noticing how none of this stuff is directly tied back to your specific someone? Yes, that's exactly my point. We don't want it to be. Yes, love them, imagine them, all that stuff. That's great. It's great. But if you're not focused on being the best you, if you're not focused on making yourself happy, if you're not focused on being happy in general, you're not helping your situation. You're an energy that just doesn't feel right. Most of the people, probably all, but most of the people, I can't say all, that are actually seeing success in their manifestation, especially with their specific someone, a lot of these people have gotten to that point where they kind of finally let go. They're kind of finally feeling good. They're doing things in their life. They're exercising now. They're getting back into their career. They're maybe focused on school, all these things. And then all of a sudden, things start to happen. Now, a lot of us, that's a tricky time too, and I can do a show on that in the future coming up. But really it is that moment where we start to interact again in a significant, unique kind of way. Things get interesting, and we've really got to try to balance ourselves, because if it's a situation, nice. No, that's too bad. Nice. It's a situation where sometimes that's so wonderful to get a phone call in the middle of this show. Yeah, I don't even know what I was saying. It's okay. Anyway, yes, getting into relationships when you start to interact with each other, and it's you kind of coming from a place where you used to be together. What can frequently happen is you are so quick to try to get back to where it was that you almost want to rush past. And it's not unintentional. It's just, it's familiar ground. You've been there before. But we have to remember, it's kind of like dating all over again. If you're already wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, on the first date, right? That's pretty impressive as far as moving too fast, too quickly. It is best to kind of pull back on the reins a little bit and allow things to progress. Again, if we go too fast, too quick, we kind of run that risk of making things weird, awkward, or whatever, and someone might maybe get a little shaky, maybe their knees get a little shaky, and they might turn around and actually kind of back away at that point. Now, something that's really kind of good to keep in mind is our subconscious mind is actually playing a role. I think higher self is a good way to put this too, because I do think that subconscious implies lower, but higher self really is that part that we're not generally overly conscious of. So I don't know. I think there's supposedly 3 selves as far as psychology is concerned, with the id, the ego, and the superego. I don't really know how those play out and all that, but you got your conscious self, you got your higher self. They're basically working together at all times. The higher self is going to speak to you in a language that, generally speaking, is going to be feelings. It's not as much going to be words. It's not as much going to be visions. I mean, it can, but it's generally the feelings that get inspired to you that are the truth of the soul, if you will. If something feels good, if you're getting guidance or thoughts or direction, and it feels good, that's definitely coming from your higher self, and it's something to consider. However you can make that, mix that into your world, make that happen into your world, definitely the direction you want to go. It's going to make a huge difference. Now, to kind of get back to that, when you are feeling good, when you're doing things that make a difference, when you're being authentic, when you're the cause of your own actions, your own movie, when you're actually the star of your own movie, it's magnetic. It's like a magnet. It is so attractive to other people. It is unreal. They will just feel your energy and want to be close to you. Even if it's your significant other, you're not a significant other, some random person, animals, you'll notice animals even want to be closer to you because your energy is amazing. You feel so good and people want to be around that. That's how you get your specific person back. That's how you get with that specific person. That's how you find love. You become love. We attract what we are. You become that which you are seeking. When you are it, you almost don't need it anymore. That's the funny thing. And that is when the last part becomes much, much easier. Because now you have become it. Now you don't need it. You don't need it to fill your empty tank. You now have a tank that you can fill others with. And when you finally get to that place where you can feel it, where you are it, and you don't necessarily desire to have that because you've got it already. It's not that you don't love it, you enjoy it, but you almost get to this point where you're like, I'm happy right now. I don't need this person's love to make me feel good in my life. And once we've gotten to that place, we have successfully let go. That is the moment when you finally do truly let go because you almost don't care. I I know it's going to work. I know the balls are in process, or I know things are rolling and moving in that direction. Great. If it happens, awesome. If it doesn't, who cares? I'm still happy. Again, the second you get to that place, everything starts to open up. You start to see opportunities in your life you never saw before. The specific person's now texting you out of the blue. Why? Because you don't care. Yeah, you enjoy it. Yeah, you're going to be in love with them. It's not that love doesn't exist. It's the need of them. If you need anything outside of yourself to be happy, you're needy. Period. If you need something to make you happy, you are needy. Make that stop. Be the cause of this reality. Be all the things that you are, that make you amazing, that made this person fall in love with you to begin with, or made the last person fall in love with you. All the things that make you amazing. Be that. Be the most amazing version of you that you can possibly be. And you will see some of the most miraculous things occur in your life. It is so awesome when you can finally get to this place where you can finally let go, where you're finally the star in your own movie. It is beyond powerful. I hope this helps. I hope you guys like going out with probably one of my favorite songs. That's like there's like, I don't know, dozens of favorite songs of mine. But this is definitely one that always puts me in a good mood, and I think it's just a really, really cool song. It's by R. Kelly. It's called The World's Greatest. Stay on Radio Style.
I made